Welcome back to Shem's Universe. So today, guys, I want to go over the real definition of LifePath 1. So this is using the Chaldean perspective, and this is going to give you guys a lot of the glitches that you didn't realize are part of your life path. Now, as I was saying in the prior video, in case you missed it, here's a little bit of a recap. There is a major and minor destiny number that you have to worry about. You're mostly getting your minor destiny number when you use the Pythagorean way of getting your life path by separating month, day, and year. That's like your minor one, which has the least relevancy to you. It's like your minor expression number in Pythagorean. We never even talk about it, right? So that's the thing, is we're using these single digit numbers and then broadening that to everybody when it's like each of the compounds associated with your life path have a very, very different definition that's important to understand in order for you to reach your full potential in life. So today I'm going to go over about 4 different life path 1 scenarios in which you'll see that each of them have a very different definition, and you'll see what category you fall in. And how you do it, I'll reiterate this once again before I actually begin with the definitions, is you just calculate everything front to back. I'll use my birthday as an example, even though I'm not a 1, I'm an 8. Is May 25th, 1994. In the Pythagorean way, I would do 1994 right to 23, so I'd minimize that to 5. I'd minimize May to 5, and then the 25 to a 7, which will give me 17 over 8. Cool. But in the other way, I'd keep 1994 as 23, so 1 plus 9 plus 9 plus 4, 23, we're there. Then we add 5, 28, and then we add 7, which would make it 35 over 8. That's my real life path number, not the 17. 17 is a minor one. It has a bit of relevancy, but think about in the Pythagorean way, we don't even care about the 17. We don't really care if it's a karmic debt or a master number. We leave that double digit there. Without that, we're gone and we're moving on to the minimized version, which would just be simply the 8, right? So that has very, very little relevance to like your entire spectrum of what you're supposed to do in this lifetime. The Persians believe that with each reincarnation, they give us different codes to then let us know that, okay, you're on a very good karmic life path, or maybe a not so good one, or a bad one sometimes. And you have to experience these things for spiritual evolution, because if you cause harm to people in a past life, then in this life, you're going to have to receive some harm so that you can learn empathy for your next life, where you'll have those experiences very deep rooted in your subconscious, so you'll have more empathy next time. And it goes vice versa as well. If you were a very blessed person, you'll have an easier life path in the next time. In turn, you're receiving karmic reward and then having higher and higher vibrations. So to start off today, we're going to go over the life path. Let's say you have a 10 over 1. So 10 over 1 is like the Wheel of Fortune. The 0 next to the 1 is a very amplified version of the 1. It gives somebody a very strong winner mentality. This type of person can sometimes have average IQ or a little bit above average. People with 10 over 1 tend to be quite competitive. They tend to want to see things through, but they can be a bit lazy or arrogant at times, which in turn can lead you to not getting things done, meaning you'll want to delegate tasks to other people too much and then not want to do it for yourself, or you'll blame others for not achieving certain results. So what you want to do if you're a life path 10 over 1 is hold yourself completely accountable, put your full intention on something, and you guys have an amplified version of the 1, so you can definitely manifest quite easily, actually. So you want to use that amplification to your advantage and then see things through fully and completely. It's still a good karmic one to have. On a karmic scale, it's considered neutral, meaning it's the Wheel of Fortune. So it's whether if you put out good energy into the world, you're going to get good results. If you put bad energy, you'll get bad results. And you can use it for building up great empires or destroying somebody's empire. So you can use it as a weapon or as a sort of a scalp to actually build something on, right? So it's completely your choice. The next one is 19 over 1. So unlike in Pythagorean, where we always say 19 over 1 is a karmic debt number and blah, 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 the Persians and the Egyptians and the Chaldeans overall had a very different perspective on what the 19 over 1 actually entails. The 19 over 1, from their perspective, is actually a karmic reward. So on the karmic scale, it's up here. And it's your final reincarnation if you have this as a life path. After this, you're going to the heavenly realms if you do this right. My warning to anybody with this life path is you need to be extremely righteous in this lifetime, because you're right next to getting to what we call heaven, which is another dimension. We're in the 3rd, we go all the way up to 9 dimensions. You're going to get closer to there once you do well in this life path that you're on currently right now. There's a few things that you guys have to know in accordance with these Chaldean tablets. The first one is that you guys are going to have a genius IQ for sure. You have a lot of experience already being here quite a few times. You guys also have a very alpha energy. Whether you're a man or a woman, you're going to have a lot of alpha energy to you. So in turn, that makes you somebody who can lead a group, really tell people what to do, and they're just going to want to just do what you say based off of your sort of energy as a whole. Your auric field is very controlling to the environment around you. So everything is in compliance with you when you walk in somewhere, and you have to feel that. The 1 in 9 means start and complete, so that insinuates the cycle is starting and completing, and you're done, you're going to heaven. But you also have to understand that you need to start and complete tasks. You guys tend to get bored with things. Once you start getting good at it, you'll have to consider it mundane and fruitless, like it has no utility to you. So you also want to make sure that you do see things through fully. You guys have a very high IQ. High IQ people always get bored. So make sure you keep yourself focused and then make bigger and bigger goals for yourself. See what kind of colossal projects you can build in this lifetime, because it's a karmic reward one. So you're going to have a lot of good luck the more energy you put into things. You may have issues with authority in accordance with the Pythagorean, but we're discussing this one, Chaldean. I would say that the issues with authority can be thwarted simply by you focusing on your purpose and not trying to control what's outside. Just control the internal, and everything else will magnetize to you. Next, we have the 28 over 1. So everybody's like, oh, wealth number. It's an interesting one. 28 over 1 as a life path, a major destiny number, meaning when you add your full dates, your year, month, day, without minimizing any of them in between, just add them all as a set of numbers. If you have 28, that's an interesting life path one to have. You can definitely do very, very well in life. You guys have a winner mentality, but you guys have a lot of police and court around you, a lot of law and order. And the reason behind that is that the 8 is the enemy to the number 1. So 28 over 1 is going to insinuate that you're going to have a lot of legal disputes to go through, and you're somebody who might be known to not keep your word. So some of the most important advice I can give you is always keep your word in business deals. You could be shrewd in business, but don't be a cutthroat person that's going to rip people off, because that's going to incur karmic debt on you. This one is a bit of almost bad karma, low key to have, because the 8 is going to make sure that you're held karmically correct for everything that you do. So you have to be very, very careful with the 28 over 1. What my advice to you is this: keep your word, even when other people aren't keeping their word to you. Just remove them from your life, because you might find as a 28 over 1 person that a lot of people around you are snakes. So all you have to do is remove them from your life. Keep going on the righteous path in accordance with that's what that 8 wants, and you'll have a very good life. If you actually want to utilize this energy completely, like if I was a 28 over 1 and I knew this before I was even 28 years old, I would simply get into a job or a career that revolves around legal disputes. So like a lawyer, police officer, judge, law clerk, paralegal, legal assistant, what have you. I'd be around law and order a lot to make sure that I monetize off of that, because that's where you guys can make the most money, even in politics where you're doing legal reform or educational reform or what have you. All of those things will make sense for you guys, and that's where you'll rise to power the fastest. With the 19 and the 10, they're more good on the creative spectrum. I don't think I covered that. You guys have a very peculiar creative ability, so when it comes to like social media or anything to do with like music or the arts, you guys dominate there as well, and you guys can become very worldly renowned and famous for that. The 19 is more of a business one, but the 10 definitely creative. You guys can become very worldly renowned. 37 over 1, which is the final one I'm going to cover today. That version of the life path one is the most rare. This is for the it's the second royal star. It's the royal star of the bull. So this gives somebody who has this a very rags to riches story. Usually there's somebody who is born into poverty sometimes, and they get the crown. They get very high in life just through sheer will, aggression, and that's it. Like that ambition to want more. This one is very creatively gifted, very genius level IQ for sure, very fast thinker, very decisive person, bulletproof mind. So 37 over 1 people are very much able to accomplish anything they set their mind to. Everybody that's a life path 1 can, but 37 over 1 is like a very amped up royal energy to have. It's a karmic gift from the universe, just like the 19. So if you have 37 over 1 as your major destiny number, you have a very, very strong ability to manifest, and you guys will have maybe a lot of partners, especially if you're a man. You might have a lot of sexual partners. Be wary of that. Don't accrue karmic debt just because you're very attractive to the opposite sex. And then same goes for women. Don't just go out there and whatever. We're not going to talk about it on YouTube, but just make sure you don't overly indulge in sex just because you're attractive to people. That can actually lead to a lot of karmic penalties for you in the future. This is the way of the universe's way of testing you in this lifetime to see what you're going to do with extra power. So when you have like a sort of royal energy where you manifest things easier than the average person, you have to make sure that you're using that in the correct way and that you're causing a cosmic shift that's going to benefit humanity and not just benefit yourself. all right? Or especially if you're going to bring a detriment to humanity, that's going to be the biggest fault for you. Even if it's just benefiting yourself, that's still completely fine. Usually when you benefit yourself, you have to provide value to people anyway, so it still benefits people to a certain degree. But aside from that, guys, I think that does cover it. I'd say the 37 is the most famous one out of all of them by far. Second by number 10. The 19 and the 28. The 28 is all about judiciary, so like anything to do with the legal system or politics for the 28. And 19 is all about independent business for sure, entrepreneurship to the maximum. So if you guys understand that, you'll understand how each of these life paths are actually different. Even though you're all life path ones, you're all meant to go on very, very different paths, as you can see. So I hope this advice does help you. It does still go in conjunction with your birth number and your name number, which I'm going to cover more in the new year as well. I'm just going to go through these life path chapters first, and then I'm going to cover those as well, the reality behind those. So you guys have a full construct of how this triangle is going to work, meaning your life path at the top, birth number, expression number, or what we call life theme in Chaldean, which is the expression number. Once you see how all this stuff comes together, you'll then be able to make a concise decision on what to do with your life and how you want to sort of operate and move to have the most leverage. So I hope this video does help, guys. If you have any questions for me, just line something in the comment section. Aside from that, like, subscribe, holla at me. That's it for today, guys. Peace.